So hello again. Today I will talk about the signs of aortic regurgitation or aortic insufficiency. And here we have the patient, Mr. George. Mr. George is a 67-year-old man that presented to emergency room with syncope and shortness of breath. He suffered from dyspnea, orthopnea, and proximal nocturnal dyspnea. Okay. So we have a lot of signs for this condition. So I will explain them all to make it easier for us all. Okay. So firstly, before everything, what is the aortic regurgitation? Aortic regurgitation, it is a condition in which there is inadequate closure of the aortic valve leaflets, and it has a lot of causes. Okay, so before everything, patients with aortic regurgitation has a wide pulse difference or a widened pulse pressure, has increase in systolic blood pressure and decrease in diastolic blood pressure. So patients with aortic regurgitation has a widened pulse pressure, markedly increased systolic blood pressure and decreased diastolic blood pressure or normal. But is the thing that it is increased systolic blood pressure and may reach to 230 over 80, okay, millimeter mercury. Why is that? Let's explain that. So here is the heart. Okay, and here is the left ventricle, and here is the left atrium. And what is that? This is the aorta. This is the aortic valve. Okay, so if this patient has aortic regurgitation insufficiency, and during the diastole, what in normal situation this valve should be closed. Okay, but with aortic insufficiency during the diastole, it's not closed. So what will happen? The blood will, during the contraction of the left atrium to push the blood to the left ventricle, the blood from the aorta here, which should normally go in his way, but it all will return back to the left ventricle. So the left ventricle will have a blood from both the aorta and from the left atrium. Okay. So here, what we can imagine will happen to the left ventricle. The left ventricle has a high pressure. So as a compensatory mechanism from the heart, the left ventricle over time will have a hypertrophy, left ventricular hypertrophy plus dilatation. Okay. Why is that? As a compensatory mechanism from the heart to keep the to keep the ejection fraction normal, to keep the stroke volume normal, and the cardiac output normal. Okay, and this with dilatation of the ventricle, what will happen to the end diastolic pressure? What will happen? Will decrease. Okay, and the diastolic pressure will decrease, and the systolic blood pressure, as it is, will be more strong. The left ventricular hypertrophy with dilatation and more contraction from the left ventricle. This will lead to high and increased systolic blood pressure. Okay, so the patients will have suddenly increased blood go to the arteries and suddenly return back to the heart. Okay, and this will cause a lot of signs that I'll explain now. Okay, Mr. George, here we are. So I classify the signs for like regions. So we have two signs in the head region, and we have two signs in the mouth. We have sign in the hand. We have signs for the femoral. We have two signs for the femoral artery here. Okay, and we have one sign for the carotid artery here. Okay. And what else? We have a sign for the blood pressure differences in the systolic blood pressure between the popliteal artery and the brachial artery. Okay. And yes, we have two signs for in the eyes. Okay. So, but firstly, let's begin with the head sign. The first sign that's called a head popping sign or Demoset sign. Okay. Demoset sign. I think it's the name of the scientist that discovered this sign. So, what is the Demoset sign, Jan? The Demoset signs, it is a head popping to and fro with each heartbeat, and here is indications for that patient feels the systolic blood pressure because it's high. Okay, so Demoset sign or head popping sign. So the patient's moving his head with the heart beating. The second sign in the head, it is called lighthouse sign. The lighthouse sign. So the lighthouse sign, from its name, I will draw what? Lighthouse. Okay. So this patient wearing a lighthouse. Okay, what is happening here? Lighthouse sign, it is like flushing and blanching of the forehead that occurs with each heartbeat. And I explained why is that happening. And why is it happening? Because of the rapid pushing of the blood from the left ventricles to the aorta with the large amount of blood, and suddenly that it's returned to the heart. Okay, so lighthouse sign, it is blanching and flushing of the forehead. Blanching and flushing with each heartbeats, okay, in the forehead. Okay. So here are the two signs in the head. Okay, lighthouse sign and the Demoset sign or heart popping sign. So the second sign I will talk about is the Quincke sign. Mostly we see it here in the nail bed. by applying a slight pressure on the nail bed, what we will see blanching and flushing exactly like the lighthouse sign, but it is in the nail bed of the capillaries. Okay, and the quinky sign, we can see it where? On the lips. Okay, so quinky sign. Now it's I think quinky's sign. Okay, so quinky's sign, we see it in the nail bed and the lips. So here you are talking about mouth, and you said before that mouth has two signs. What is the other signs? Of the lip have a quinky sign. If the lip has a quinky sign, what is the other sign in the mouth? In the mouth we have the uvula here, so the uvula that is like that. So this uvula, as I will show you here a short video about this sign, which is called the Mueller's sign in the uvula. And the Mueller sign of the uvula, we will see a pulsatile uvula that go up and down. Okay, so it's called a Mueller sign. Mueller sign. Okay, Mueller sign. Okay, so pulsatile uvula, Mueller sign. So here is the two signs in the mouth, the Mueller signs and the quinky sign. And the quinky sign, we can see it in the nail beds, and how we exaggerated it or clarified it by applying slight pressure on the nail beds. Okay. And as it before, we have two signs in the eyes. Okay, where I will write. I think I will write here. Okay, and I really love these two signs. I don't know, but I love them. Okay, so the first sign, it is called, what is called the first sign it's called Landolfil sign. Okay, and the second sign is called the Beaker sign. So let's firstly talk about the Landolfil sign. Landolfil sign. Let's write it because I don't like its name. Landolfil sign. And the second sign is Beaker sign. Beaker. So here's the Beaker sign and the Landolfil sign for the eyes and patients with aortic regurgitation. So what is the Landolfil sign? Landolfil signs, as I will show you here, it is a sign of a pulsatile pupil. Okay, pulsatile pupils. Look how it is pulsatile pupil. Okay. And the Beaker sign, it is by a fundoscopy. You will see a pulsatile retinal artery too. Okay, so a pulsatile retinal artery for Beaker's sign and Landolfil's sign for the pulsatile pupil. My red pen was dying, so I let it alone, and I replaced it by a green or a pen. I don't know, no one asking, but I have to explain. So Beaker sign, it is what? Beaker sign, it is a pulsatile retinal artery. While the Landolfil sign, it is a pulsatile pupils. I love this sign. So let's imagine this is a pupil here. This pupil will enlarge and shrunken, enlarge and shrunken with the heart beating. Okay. So let's go to the two signs for the femoral artery. The femoral artery here. Okay. A femoral artery has two signs. The first one, it is the Durosis sign. Durosis sign. I know it's weird. And the second sign, it is Topis. It is the Topis sign. Topis sign, or it's called a pistol shot sound. Okay. So there is this sign and the pistol shot sound, or Topis sign. So we have to know that the femoral artery for the patients with aortic regurgitation has a murmur. Okay, and this murmur, it is to and fro murmur. The haben or yaben. After pressing the femoral artery with the stethoscope, we can hear this murmur. Okay, so it is a murmur. There's this sign. It is a murmur of the femoral artery. Diastolic murmur. So it is murmur. Okay, it is a diastolic murmur. Okay, so it's a diastolic murmur. There's this sign of the femoral artery. The second sign, which is called the pistol shot sound. And it's a sound we can clarify it and exaggerate it by compressing the femoral artery with the stethoscope. Okay, and yep. So these are the two signs for the femoral artery. There's these signs and the Topis sign, or the pistol shot sound. Okay, and this indicates the decreased diastolic blood pressure in the femoral artery, and so we hear the sound, pistol shot sound in the femoral artery. Okay, there's these signs and the Topis sign. There's these signs and the Topis signs or pistol shot sounds for the femoral artery, and for the eyes we have the Landolfil sign and the Beaker sign, which I explained them before. Okay. What else? We have a very important sign. It is the Corrigan's sign. Okay, it's a dancing carotid artery, and it is called also water hammer pulse. The water hammer pulse. Here's the carotid artery, and before everything, I will put a short video here to see how the carotid artery pulse dancing carotid. They called it dancing carotid, okay, or water hammer pulse. It is a rapid, very rapid and abrupt upstroke of the peripheral pulse followed by rapid collapse. And why is that? Because of the what? Because of the large amount of blood and strong ejection fractions that come from the left ventricle and then suddenly go back to the heart because of the insufficiency in the aortic valve. Okay, so it's called a Corrigan's sign or Corrigan's pulse or carotid, dancing carotid. Corrigan's pulse or sign or dancing carotid. Okay, carotid artery or water hammer pulse. Okay. Signs which is explain the difference between the lower limb and the upper limbs in the systolic blood pressure. The difference between them in normal people. The difference between the systolic blood pressure in the lower limb, specifically the brachial artery, and the upper limb, specifically the brachial artery, it is less than 20 millimeter mercury, and it is higher in the brachial artery in the lower limb. While in the aortic regurgitation patients, the difference is more and more. Okay, so in mild aortic regurgitation, it's more than 20 millimeter mercury in the lower limb. In moderate, it's more than 40 millimeter mercury in the lower limb, and in severe aortic regurgitations, the difference is more than 60 millimeter mercury in the lower limb. So it is. So what is it called? What is this sign called? Hill sign. Let's draw sigmoid here as we measure the blood pressure here, and as we measure the blood pressure here. Okay, so the Hill sign. Okay, Hill sign, it is the more than 20 millimeter mercury in the systolic blood pressure. Differences between the lower limb, and the upper limb. It's between us. Okay. So this is the Hill sign, and before it I talked about the Corrigan's sign or Corrigan's pulse or dancing carotid or water hammer's pulse. Okay. So the difference between the lower limb and upper limb, it is more and more with aortic regurgitation patients. So what else? I think the rest is about the murmur. What do you think about the murmur of the patients with aortic regurgitations? Of course, they will have a early diastolic murmur. Okay, soft and high pitched early diastolic murmur. We call it Austin Flint murmur, and we hear it at area called Erb's point, and this Erb's point located in the third left intercostal space. Okay, in the third left intercostal space here, and this is the sternum. Let's imagine here it's a point called Erb's point. Erb's point. From here we can hear by our stethoscope a murmur, early diastolic murmur, which is called Austin Flint murmur, and this is the name due to the one who discovered this murmur. Okay, Austin Flint murmur. Austin, do you want for me to write it? Okay, I will write it. Austin Flint murmur. And this murmur is what it is, early diastolic murmur. Okay. And how we hear it? Basically from the Erb's point, which is located in the third intercostal space, in the left side. Okay. What else? Let's talk about the last thing, which is the S2 sound for the heart. As you know that the heart has S1 and S2 and S1 and S2 and etc. And S1, it is the closing of. It is described the beginning of the systolic phase. So it is described the closing of the mitral and tricuspid valve, and the S2, it is for the closing of the pulmonary valve and the aortic valve. Yes. So here in patients with aortic regurgitation, Mr. George has an insufficiency in the aortic valve, so his aortic valve can't close. So the S sound will be soft or will absent. Okay. So patients with aortic regurgitation has a soft or absent S2 sound. Absent or soft. Okay. Because it is what describe the closing of aortic and pulmonary valve. And here we can't close the aortic valve, so the S2 will be soft, and maybe we even will not hear it. Okay, so this is all. Let's make a quick revision. So signs for aortic regurgitations. This patient's Mr. George will have a lighthouse sigh, plunging and flushing for the forehead, and a demoset sign or head popping with each heartbeat. For the mouth, we have the uvula here having a Mueller sign, okay, pulsatile uvula, and for the lips, we'll have Quincke's sign, okay, and Quincke's sign also for the nail beds, okay. And Mr. George here has two signs for the femoral artery, which is the dorsey sign, which is diastolic murmur. It's a murmur. We hear it by a stethoscope, okay. And it has a sound. It's called pistol shut sound or two-piece sign. Okay, two-piece sign, and the dorsey sign is for the femoral artery. What else? For the eyes of Mr. George. The eyes have two signs, Landolfield sign and the Beaker sign. Landolfield signs, what? It's a pulsatile pupil, while the Beaker sign, it is a pulsatile retinal artery by the fundoscope. And we have a sign for the carotid artery, dancing carotid artery, it's funny carotid artery, dancing with the heartbeat. Okay, what else? We have a murmur, early diastolic murmur called Austin Flint murmur. We hear it by Erb's point, or at the Erb's point. And we have a difference in the systolic blood pressure between the lower limb and the upper limb, which is called health sign, when the difference become more than 20 millimeter mercury. And the STU, we will not hear it, or it will be soft. And that's all.